porn. They pop culture. It's the lowdown.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the latest installment of the Lowdown Popcast. I am the voice of PCW and the voice of Demons Football, Elliot Popston. To my right is the founder of the hottest wrestling promotion in the Mid-Atlantic. He's the owner agent of Flyer Float Travel, where you can book your dream getaway at flyerfloattravel.com. Host of the Shane event, can sell iced and Eskimo, New York's greatest export, devourer of Christmas tree cake. They're gross, freaking gross. Shane Dorr.
I brought that for you.
Man, I am doing so good.
To my left, six-time fantasy football champion, podcast enthusiast, soon to be Kevin Nash's favorite podcaster. Just like his favorite wrestler, he's been known to outwork everyone, although some may argue he just works everyone. With his self-proclaimed hottest Funko Pop collection, not your average wrestling mark, Handbook Jonathan Winburn.
Thanks, man.
It is a nice Funko Pop collection. And man, this is delectable. This is like something fell from heaven.
No. I had something that fell from heaven last night, and it was called Krispy Kreme Donuts.
Oh,
I was wondering where that was going.
I immediately went sexual in my mind. I'm not gonna lie.
You're very immature and gross.
I'm married. It's how we work.
But anyways, I was feeling pretty Ucey tonight until that happened.
I was feeling pretty Ucey until about 2 hours ago.
Did you work hard?
I mean, I did work hard today. And, I was headed this way, and nobody was responding that we were actually.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Elliot was responding. We were waiting on Shane's response, and
I was busy, y'all. I'm a married man. What can I say?
My phone was in the other room. I almost texted your wife and say, "Hey,
She would have answered.
is Shane awake?"
Wait, she would have been like, never mind. Forget it.
But
That was awesome.
but we're here.
That went down like a liquid.
it's gonna come out like a liquid too. Yeah.
What is in these?
Well, cardboard. A lot
Sugar.
of Ames and Thanes and Xylem gum.
55 carbs. Oh, yeah. That was. Thank you, Jonathan. That was very good. It was for Elliot. I'll preface that, but
So I saw some chocolate covered ones at Dollar General. And
that sounds good too.
you're completely missing your mouth with that drink.
Every time.
All right, folks. It's the beard.
Speaking of beard,
What was that?
was that Richard?
That's not funny, guys. I'm from Jersey.
Elliot, how you been?
You'll never hear it.
I'm like, dude,
I don't know. He said he listens.
He's like, hey guys. He's gonna be like the guy in Freak Show from Harold and Kumar. I heard everything you said.
he called me a couple weeks ago.
Oh no.
Hey, Elliot. I'm like, what's up? What's up, man? What are you doing? I'm like, right now, just sitting at the table with Asher. What's up? I gotta go. I'm like, oh, all right. Nice talk.
He's turned into a cat lover now. Did you see that?
Oh gosh, what's wrong? What's that, meow?
He's got cats now. Anyhow,
So it's been pretty good week since the last show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a great week.
Halloween has come and gone.
Christmas has come.
Christmas is
Hallmark Christmas
We
movies.
skipped.
we skipped Thanksgiving.
Started last night.
Dumb.
I don't want a lot for Christmas.
Do you like watching the Hallmark movies?
No.
Thank you, because he's an American.
No, they're all the same.
Yes, just like Lifetime movies.
Yep, all the same.
All the same. Cheating, dying,
Or,
kidnapped.
Rich person comes to small town, falls in love with unrich person.
Jonathan and I were having that conversation the other day about Hallmark movies, and as soon as I heard the term Hallmark movies, I was like, oh. And Jonathan's like, they're fantastic. I'm like,
They are. So from this point forward until Christmas, if I'm not watching football or wrestling, the TV's on Hallmark.
I mean, my TV will be on Hallmark too, but it's not because I want it to be on Hallmark.
Amen. I can't do it. I can't get into it. I don't know what it is. I love Christmas. I hate
Happiness.
Christmas. There's nothing happy about it. Nothing happy about this holiday season.
It's cheerful. It's joyful.
Working in retail for my whole life since I've been 16.
So have I.
Literally, it's the only job I've had.
Sounds like a
is
personal
retail.
choice.
It is, but still, like that music hits September 30th, October 1st every year.
I mean, me and you weren't there. Me and one of our coworkers were listening to Christmas music like 2 days ago.
It's horrible.
I just found out I still got like 22 hours of sick time, so there's a chance that I may not be working the 2 days. But I may end up only working like 2 hours my last week at work before the year's up.
We don't know what that's like.
Yep.
Anyhow,
Hashtag manufacturing.
work from home.
Yeah, well,
Hashtag.
it's a manufacturing company. I just work from home. So, looks like oh yeah, that's empty.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Looks like there's been some pretty interesting things happen in the wrestling community. You got WWE. Still don't know if the New Japan Carl Anderson thing is a shooter or work. Still kind of trying to figure that one out. But what we did find out is they are allowing Shinsuke Nakamura to fight against Muta at Noah or NOAH, how do they call it? So that's pretty interesting. You don't see that very often and everything. Well, I don't know ever.
You know that's just a respect thing.
Thing with Muta and
With
Triple
Muta
H
and Muta and Triple H is definitely deep appreciation for that era, for Kenji and honestly, I'm sure Muta like wanted Shinsuke.
Oh yeah,
You know, Shinsuke is I think he's one of the greatest professional wrestlers definitely in the world. I still think he's underutilized.
come on.
He's so good. And dude, Muta still has that mystique, man. So I think it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And don't forget too, Muta also crossed over into AEW recently too, with the Sting thing. So
Yeah.
who knows what's gonna happen there?
Yeah, that's that Muta's liable to be the one who brings all of it together on his last hoorah.
Wouldn't that be fitting?
I mean, it's kind of like Flair's last match.
How many times is he gonna have it?
Jeff Jarrett was on there, and he was on WWE, and then they had AEW wrestlers on there. So,
Well, Jarrett was also on his way out of WWE too. You know, that's
true.
Maybe Shinsuke's on his way out.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe the telltale sign.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm a big fan of Muta. Always have been. Definitely that era of wrestling I grew up on. So I'm interested to see what happens and how it comes across.
Bray Wyatt continues to remain as cryptic as ever. We got introduced to a new character or persona or whatever it is with Uncle Howdy on Friday night.
What a interesting promo. First of all, I have to say, seeing Bray Wyatt as Bray, like his true self, I still think this is all schizo, whatever multi-personality. I'm still leading into that, but Bray's promo as himself, he's phenomenal, man. His way he articulates his promos and his facial expressions and his timing of his words, he's so good. He's so incredibly good. And then the Uncle Howdy thing, man, like I found it interesting. I saw a video. Uncle Howdy kept saying, "Your Uncle Howdy, your Uncle Howdy." So is it your as in Y-O-U-R, like as in your Uncle Howdy, or is it Y-O-U-R-E, as in you are Uncle Howdy? So I thought that was very interesting. That they kept letting that be said in that promo. I'm as intrigued as ever.
I think it might be Bo.
Yeah, I think I shared that. The Uncle Howdy character was wearing the
cross
cross earring
that Bo wears
with Barry Windham's beard. I think
on the mask.
Yeah. I think it's it was definitely Bray speaking.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It was definitely Bray's voice.
I don't think so.
100%. 110%
No,
Bray's voice.
I don't think so.
Everybody's in agreement that except you two, that it was Bray Wyatt speaking.
That's not everybody.
You should. I mean, if you listen to it, it's definitely Bray Wyatt speaking.
I don't think people's paid enough attention to, and I think he's been gone for so long that people's forgotten how much Taylor Rotunda and Bray Wyatt actually sound alike.
Well, and look alike too.
But the issue is going back and listening to it. Just some of the enunciation, some of the tone of the voice isn't Bray.
I would challenge that. That's a T bet.
It's not Bray.
It's a T bet.
I don't bet. So,
well, I'm definitely betting a T from Revolution Nutrition in Camden, South Carolina. A loaded T that it is Bray Wyatt speaking. Now I don't know if it's him, but it's his voice.
I'll think about it for the rest of the show and then not give you an answer by the end.
That sounds like what I did last week.
Yeah.
You can't use my own game against me, sir. Can't do that. Well, we'll definitely have to turn on the promo again post show and watch it all together. And
I haven't actually seen the promo, so I can't.
It's very good.
That's the only reason I'm not betting the T, because I haven't seen the promo, so I don't know. But
it's superb, man. Just what they're doing and the creative freedom that they're finally allowing somebody that's deserving to have. Just goes to show what they can do, man. Because like Bray Wyatt is single-handedly bringing people who could care less about the WWE product, who weren't watching the WWE product, back into it and roping them in just to catch them in that segment. So,
and
I think every week it's going to be like this, though.
Another thing I noticed is they're not holding everything until the very end of the show either, which forces you to try and watch the whole show. Otherwise, you miss it. And that's what happened to me this past week. I had to go back and watch it because I missed the promo because I was waiting until like the last 30 minutes or so. It's gone.
So I'm trying to figure out why I didn't watch the promo, because I didn't watch SmackDown, but I definitely went back like multiple times and watched the Bloodline promo.
Times 10.
Yeah, a lot.
So,
but I didn't go back and watch the Bray thing. I don't know.
Because that just goes to show you what Sami Zayn is doing in WWE is probably the best work that anybody's doing. And it's overshadowing.
Yeah, I mean, they said that it was only meant to last, like reports said that it was only meant to last a couple of weeks, but it's just been so golden that they were like, because the plan was for him and KO to reunite like pretty quickly and take on the Usos, but they were like, we can't just end it right now.
Vince would kill it.
Yeah,
Vince would kill it.
My first thought when I read it, I was like, well, if Vince was still in charge, it would have ended 2 weeks ago.
Can you imagine if his name gets changed to Sammy Uso for a short time?
Well, I mean, it's like what they did with the Wyatt family with Daniel Bryan. He was Daniel Wyatt for all but a week or two. You know,
Sammy Uso.
I don't know what I see Sammy's face. I see Santa Claus. I'm gonna call him Sammy Claus. He's got those rosy cheeks. You ever just like watch him cut a promo?
He looks very elfy.
I just something about him.
Yeah. Honestly, he kind of looks like the dwarf from Lord of the Rings. Poor Sammy.
That might just be the beard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the beard.
But I do. I love what Sammy's doing. I love it's become a game every week now. I think it's like, and Jonathan alleviated to it a couple of days ago at work, but Sammy's job is to try to make one of the Usos or Roman crack.
Yeah.
Like that's his job. And
I laughed because I even saw, first of all, Jimmy's losing it in the background.
Yes.
I mean, they were all losing it.
And the other one has got to keep doing this over his mouth.
Jay sitting here
doing like this.
I mean, he went to turn around and walk away, and you could tell he was already laughing, and Roman's like, nah, come back over here. Let's stay right here.
Is that what it is, Jay? You're not feeling Ucey? Yo, Jay's not feeling Ucey tonight.
It was so funny is they obviously knew that was coming because as soon as they get in the ring, before, like, they're already laughing before any of the promo even starts because they know what's coming. and like they don't know how they're going to react.
I don't think they knew the term Ucey was coming. I think they just knew Sammy was up to something.
Well, he was up to it, and it was hilarious. It's comedic gold.
I mean,
WWE's on a terror with him.
Very, very rare do you see Heyman near the ropes or in the corner with his hand over his mouth because he's laughing.
He's got to lean on the ropes.
He's leaning on the ropes. Just with his hand over his mouth, and you're like, oh yeah, he's cracking right now.
So awesome.
And I wish they had shown Solo, because I just have a feeling Solo was probably losing it.
He's the one that's like, from what I read in like interviews with him, he's loving having Sammy a part of it.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
I mean, but they were all, even, I mean, I don't think Jimmy spoke through the whole promo, but he still made the promo. I mean, because he was cutting up in the background, trying not to laugh. And then I think one of the best parts was Sammy, when Sammy was talking before Jay interrupted and said, he didn't care what the tribal chief said. Sammy said something, and Heyman walked up and like put his hand, like, patted him on the back. And then Sammy just like mid promo stopped and was like, "Thank you." It was just like little things that just sold it.
Dude, that whole moment was amazing. Which Uso was it? Was it Jimmy?
Jay. I don't care what the tribal chief thinks.
Roman sold that whole moment.
His face.
Immediately, he was looking down. And as soon as he said it, face went up, face in hard cam. Facial expression was dynamite, not AEW. And the crowd ate into it.
Looked like he was full of rampage.
Wow. But yeah, I
don't mean the Rock movie either.
And can we not just all get in agreement that Roman Reigns is without a doubt in the place he needs to be? He is incredibly good, man. His whole promo skills.
He's an anti-hero.
He's on another level.
I still think they're leading to the Rock.
They
Roman,
have to with the way
and
they're building him.
It's gonna happen because of what's happening with Jay. Like I could see Jay getting, not Sammy. I could see Jay being the one kicked out, and then that be Jay's like rebuttal to the group. It's like, all right, you want to kick me out? Like
I found the real tribal
I'll go
chief.
get somebody, and then it'd be the Rock. I mean, that's just how I see it unfolding.
So you seeing Rock and Jay versus Jimmy and Roman?
There's been multiple things that's come out with, Jay gets kicked out, and because Jay gets kicked out, or because Jay gets kicked out, Sammy doesn't think it's right for Jay to get kicked out, so Sammy gets kicked out, and then, then Jimmy gets kicked out because he doesn't think Jay or Sammy should be kicked out.
Ugh. That sounds like a nightmare.
So, like, one thing I saw was Jay getting kicked out could cause Jimmy and Solo to turn on Roman because this is their brother, right? They talked about how Jay, coming full circle, Jay gets that rematch against Roman, and Roman thinks that Jimmy and Solo is going to help him out. Ends up taking a triple super kick to the face from all three brothers.
Well, I think they should definitely drag it out as long as they can, because I think what they have is really good, and it's a slow build. I don't know, how long do they go? Do they go through Mania? They take it to Mania. We're in November. That's what, it's still 5 or 6 months.
Probably at least go to Royal Rumble.
Yeah, 2 months. Do you hear that?
Well, Survivor Series is coming up, right?
Yeah, November.
This month.
I mean, yeah, this is November.
November.
This month. But you got Crown Jewel coming. Yeah,
that may or may not happen.
Say if it happens.
If Rock comes, is that Crown Jewel?
Oh no, but I'm saying if
Crown Jewel happens,
because there's like
he's going to talk about what we were talking about off the air with what's going on with Saudi Arabia and Iran.
Saudi have come out and said that there's like, I guess, intelligence that Iran's going to attack them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then Crown Jewel's supposed to be this weekend, so
if I was WWE, I'd be
keep your money.
I'd be thinking twice, 3 times about this one now.
Crown Thunderdome.
Oh, I'm so glad that period's over. But no, it's Jonathan brings up a good point. Saudi Arabia and Iran, Saudi and the United States have gotten intelligence that Iran's planning something in Saudi Arabia and in Iraq. And there's nukes being sent all over the world now from the United States to Saudi Arabia? Iran's providing nukes to Russia. It's getting a little warm.
Yeah. If they don't have it, how do they move forward? Do they move the card to Survivor Series?
Well, here's the good thing about Crown Jewel. Really, how much of the card has been announced? Very little. Very little has at least
Pretty good bit.
I'm looking at Jonathan. Pretty.
You got Bailey versus Sasha. Oh, not Sasha. Bailey versus Bianca.
Okay.
Usos
I Quit
versus,
match. Yeah, Usos versus New Day.
What are the?
They're Usos are fighting.
No, they're Brawling Brutes. Sorry.
Okay. What? Okay. Let me rephrase. What matches that are announced that anybody cares about?
Brock versus Bobby.
Okay, there's one.
Roman versus Logan.
Nobody cares.
Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul.
Okay, so perfect. So they're not going to lose anything by canceling this show. Bobby and
Bray Wyatt's supposed to be there.
okay, tune in to SmackDown Friday night. 2 days.
I will say that with the Bray, kind of going back to the Bray Wyatt thing, that kind of has me intrigued, or what has kept me probably the most intrigued, is that they're building all this without Bray going against anybody at this point. I mean, he's
Himself.
we don't even know. Like he's not. The program he's in right now is just him. I mean, there's nobody else involved
And I
that
think
we know of.
And I think what I like about it too, to your point, is all right, we both have our opinions. We all have our opinions and thoughts on what they are doing or what they should do or what they could do. But in all reality is it can be any of those and it could be something different. We really don't know who's involved. We don't know if it is a multiple personality thing. We don't know. We're just speculating. But the fact that we don't know is what I think I like the most.
What if they book it to where Bray just loses to each of these personalities until he becomes a Fiend, then he beats them all? Loses to Uncle Howdy in a match. Uncle Howdy then kind of runs everything. Then you have Uncle Harper show up. Loses to Uncle Harper in a match.
Uncle Harper.
Or however they run it.
I don't know. I think the fact, like the beauty of the unknown, I think it's what keeps me intrigued. It's definitely keeping me interested. We'll see what they do.
Well, I mean, one thing we saw happen on Raw last night is you have new women's tag team champions with Alexa Bliss and Asuka beating Damage Control.
So that happening leads me to believe that Alexa's not involved with Bray Wyatt.
That's my thought as well.
Yeah,
I was not sold on that until that happened. I was like, okay.
A couple of things. I think it makes me feel like she's not involved with Bray. It also makes me feel. So I was pretty sure that when Sasha and Naomi came back, that they were kind of going to go against Damage Control, like come back together.
Where are they at?
But with Asuka and Alexa winning, like I don't really see that fitting in there. And also to me, I don't like. I mean, the whole Damage Control thing was a nice surprise when they came back as Triple H's first pay-per-view or PLE under him. But I mean, it's been underwhelming since they've been back. I mean, they won the belts, now they lost it. Bailey hasn't really done much.
So is Sasha and Naomi coming back?
I mean, the reports are that Sasha's still been under contract the whole time. I don't know if they're coming back.
So you have the Royal Rumble coming up.
Well,
the Women's Royal Rumble.
Well, before we go there, my question is, because Alexa and Asuka were both supposedly injured, right? They were injured, supposed to be out for a while. They got brought back quick. Does that show the lackluster that Belair may have as a champion now? That they had to say, hey, yeah, we really need help because she's really not shining like she was.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I think Bianca Belair is super talented, but just something about when she's carrying the championship is just like, it's like a shiny new toy. loses its luster.
Well, I think what we've noticed, at least what I've noticed, is you have some people who can carry the belt and still make the belt shine. I think Roman Reigns is a prime example right now. I think Charlotte Flair is one of them. I think Becky Lynch is one of them.
For sure.
I think Charlotte Flair, whether she's face or heel, I think her just having a belt is just, she does something for the belt.
Ugh.
Instead of the
Not
belt.
a fan of Charlotte.
I'm not a fan of her, but I think she does something for the belt instead of the belt doing something for her.
Yeah. She
I agree
brings
with
meaning
that
to it.
statement, but I don't know. Like,
She's catching her dad in title reigns. What is she, 12-time champion?
I think she's more than that.
Well, I mean, so my thing is, like,
She's still hurt, Charlotte? Is she hurt?
I don't think she's hurt. I think she's just been out. When she got married and just kind of taking time off. I don't
I
know.
don't know. There's also rumors about who got,
I don't know if she's
who
hurt.
got teased last week, I think.
Oh, well,
for,
AJ Styles said.
AJ.
Oh, that's another match on the card, Crown Jewel. You have Judgment Day versus
The OC.
OC.
But they teased a woman, joining the fight against Judgment Day. But
Looks like Anderson will be defending his never open weight belt.
Wait a minute. They teased the woman joining the OC?
to go against
And AJ
Rhea,
Styles said we need someone with flair.
But a lot of rumors are saying Shotski.
I saw Mia Yim.
But I mean, there's a few.
I saw Mia Yim coming back because she's out of her Impact contract now.
They're not going to drop that. If he said Flair, they're not going to drop that kind of.
But AJ and Flair were tag partners in the mixed tournament. a while
Phenomenally
back.
Flair.
Oh yeah. That's who it is. They're not going to drop that kind of intentional, obvious tease.
Plus, her and Rhea have a history as well.
Well, and it makes sense too if you think about it, bringing her back in a tag team match for her to not be exposed so much for being out for so long. So I think that makes sense. Okay, I'll buy with that. That'd be actually kind of entertaining.
So
I think, my opinion, I think the OC is gonna be a big flop. Going back to WWE, that's just my opinion. I
mean,
I don't want them to, man, because I love Gallows and Carl, Machine Gun, whatever you want to call them, Doc, Luke, whatever you want to call them. But man, those two, I remember when they made their debut in Impact, and that music hit, and they just had, I don't know. I loved them in Japan. I kind of wish they would have went back to Japan, but I just don't think they can shine or be given the recognition that they deserve in WWE. It's too crowded.
yeah, I'm not.
It's gonna be just like that happened last time.
Their return was lackluster.
Yes. Going back, listen to it, man. It's like the crowd was like, huh.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with their music. Their music just sucks.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near as good as their
Impact
the
theme?
devil.
Oh, if you listen to the lyrics of that song, bro, it was phenomenal. And I just think they're gonna get what happened last time. I just think it's gonna happen again.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to think.
Just like if FTR ever went back, God forbid.
Well, speaking of FTR, Dax recently made a post kind of making it like they might be done after their AEW contract's up, or that they're open to going back to WWE.
You took it as they're willing to go back?
Willing to? I think they're willing to go back.
Anybody's willing to go back if the money's right. It's money, man. It's a money-driven business. Let's be honest.
I also think that it's one of I don't see how Tony Khan doesn't just pay them what they want. I mean, they're the best tag team.
They're modern day Road Warriors.
I mean, I can see a way they don't come back. I mean, it's pretty well known that they were, if Punk is gone, which we can touch on that later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're friends with Punk, and if AEW chose, I mean, we all, the rumors have been out that the Young Bucks have buried tried to bury FTR before. So if AEW chooses the Bucks over Punk in the whole situation, and Punk really is gone, I mean, I could see them being like, all right, this.
Yeah, but in that same respect, Cody Rhodes recently tweeted out saying, I did not leave AEW because of my relationship with the Bucks and Kenny Omega. I love those guys.
It was a personal decision.
It was a personal decision. Young Bucks retweet that, post a picture of the Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Cody Rhodes all hugging each other, staring out into an empty arena.
Don't think it's in the cards, man, for this, for everything that we saw with AEW, do a 180 and they all show up in WWE.
Well, and that was kind of my point. If the Bucks and Omega are looking to possibly go to WWE, if FTR hates the Bucks so much, do they even entertain WWE?
Yeah, where the Bucks go, FTR won't. I mean, they'll be opposite companies.
You know, I
That's
think
that's where I stand.
I think,
but man, I'm just thinking about if this could legitimately happen. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, and a lot of people are saying, "Hey, keep the bloodline thing going
For a reason.
Get those guys signed.
You
imagine and let the elite face the bloodline.
You imagine I would. Now that is a pay-per-view. Just it brings a smile to my face just thinking about it.
But my issue though,
The story they could tell.
my issue with that though is one thing: Kenny or Cody
With what?
as the lead. I cannot put Kenny as a mid card.
No, you put them together and you have them egos interfere and you set them up on their program of their own down the road. I mean, it's typical booking, I guess, but simple booking. But I don't know how they do it. Cody to me is the face. Cody to me is the head.
Or do you have the elite one get the Universal, one get the World Heavyweight title, and the Bucks get the tag team title?
Fantasy booking 101. What do you think, Jonathan? What do you think they'd do?
None of that sounds interesting to me. I mean, interesting, yes.
No, he's like, go with it.
It all sucks. Next.
Interesting, yeah, just because I mean, any of the, especially the like founder, pillars of AEW going to WWE would be interesting in just how it was done. But
can you imagine?
I'm not a fan of the Young Bucks or Kenny, so
can you imagine WWE taking that shot though? The pillars of all elite wrestling.
And as much as we are
used to, they wouldn't
pro Hunter over Vince. Triple H also went over Sting when Sting came back, so I could very easily see the elite come in and Triple H just having the bloodline straight up squash them.
No, like a bug. No, WWE won't acknowledge AEW on TV. That's why they didn't do anything with Billy Gunn.
Well, I mean, things change though. You know what I mean? Especially if they're trying to get that jab.
I don't know.
I mean, they just got to go to the clinic for that.
Touche. One stop shot.
I don't know. I would hate to envision it all over again. Like you had these guys set out and transcend to start their vision of what pro wrestling should be, and then just imagining all of them doing the same thing again, but in WWE, it's kind of
again, but with each other.
What?
I said again, but with each other.
Yeah, I mean, like it's already been done. But
yeah,
it would not. I mean,
it wouldn't be as special, but it'd be a moment in history for sure. It'd be memorable, but it just wouldn't be the same.
The whole bloodline thing, like I hope. I mean, as interesting as it sounds, I don't think the bloodline should go on that long. I mean,
it's probably been 2 years.
Right,
that's crazy.
But I mean, the reports were that Kenny's contract is supposed to be up in 2023, but early 2023. But that because of the suspension, the AEW could add time to it. So I mean, you're looking at least probably another close to another year before Kenny's gone. So I don't.
Well,
I just don't see the bloodline lasting that long. And still being.
Can they add that much time, or are you? Well, they could probably add injury time too.
Well, let's focus on 2024, man, because there is a lot of different things happening 2024. Supposedly, contracts are up, TV deals are up. I mean, like 2024 is setting up to be the year for professional wrestling. You got rumors of MJF's contract being up in AEW.
Assuming the world hasn't gone to crap by then.
True. Well, no. It'd be pre-election, so. But for real, like, early the first quarter of 2024, you're talking AEW. MJF's contract probably up. You got the Elite's contracts are somewhere around there. You got Fox's deal with WWE for SmackDown's up in 2024. AEW's Dynamite deal's up around the same time.
I mean, we don't know how long Cody's contract's up. His contract could be up in 2024. It was just announced.
That would be just more interesting.
Multi-year deal in 2024 would be 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
which would make it even more interesting. So what happens? Man?
Is there? Speaking of elections, is there over under on like possible? What's the word I'm looking for? Event to occur pre-election to
like World War III?
World War III.
That's gonna be way before the election. That's coming quick. That's definitely coming quick.
I guess I was thinking over under for politicians to create something out of nothing.
Oh, it's every election. Remember.
I was just
smallpox.
I was just wondering.
No, not smallpox. Anthrax.
Oh yeah,
remember anthrax? Don't open your mail. Come on. It's every cycle. Nothing new. It's a Republican Democrat game.
I just didn't know if there was an over under on the actual thing it might be.
COVID-21, COVID-22. I mean, something's got to happen.
microchips.
Well, I mean,
that's funny you say that too, because like
Elon's fired everyone for Twitter. So.
Oh man, these microchip people aggravate me, dude. Like I can't stand people talking about like these microchips. Like, bro, you wear them on your wrist every single day. You have your smartwatch that has your banking information. It's got your heart rate. It's got your blood pressure. It's
maybe a little different though. Having one embedded in your arm
same
versus
idea. It's the same preface.
Size of a piece of rice.
The watch will get smaller. I mean, it's
gonna be hard to read. I'll tell you.
I mean, really, man. Like, I don't know. The whole microchips argument really always kind of just tweaks my melons.
Wow,
that's a saying.
I believe you.
I've
never heard
put
tweaks
that way before.
Of course, I never heard the term touch hole either before I met Shane.
Yeah, but Google it and see what it says.
No thanks.
I'm good.
No, tweaks my melons is a.
Listen, I
you're
believe
playing
you.
mind games with me. You're attempting to deceive or confuse me. And then touch hole, I'm Googling, is a good word, folks. If you want a euphemism for a cuss word, you call somebody a touch hole, and it's saying it's a regional insult from upstate New York that's prevalent mostly among those born between 35 and 55, which ironically my dad was born in 45, so it makes sense why I've heard it from him my whole life. Seems to defy definition, but having the same weight as such words as a-hole, mf'er, and perhaps even a little bit more derogatory. See? So there you go. There you have it. Touch hole. Euphemism.
Well,
I don't
know what to say. I don't know how to respond to that.
It's just
I do.
It's an interesting term.
Shane was being a touch hole earlier by not responding to any messages.
I left my phone in the other room, pal.
Of course you did.
Sorry.
How convenient.
Guys, I have things going on. Busy guy.
Caused me to have to drive an extra hour and a half, pretty much.
You love it. You love coming to spend time with us.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
With the rad dad.
But I still could have saved an hour.
Could have.
Well, yeah.
You should have. You should have just kept driving, Jonathan.
Well, when you text and said bed and a picture of
At
like
8:30. That was 8:30.
well, I mean, when people go to bed, they don't wake up an hour later usually.
I was with him, and I was pretty ticked. Not gonna lie, I'm like, God, didn't even say, hey, I'm
Because I would have.
I'm still ticked.
I would have told you guys, something came up. I'm not gonna be able to make the show tonight.
Well, if you fall asleep with no intention of going to bed, you can't really
my thing.
help.
If
I
did fall
didn't
asleep,
think
I
you
would
were
still
going
get
to
up.
bed. I thought you might have just fell asleep. And then we didn't, but everything's here. We couldn't just get in your house without you.
You could have. I left the light on for you like Motel 6, and I left the door unlocked purposely for you.
I do know where the key's at.
And he knows where the key is. Perfect. So next time, if I don't answer, just show up, right? We agree?
If that's
It's on the air.
It's right here.
We're live, pal.
Yeah, minute 41, episode 19.
Hour 41, isn't it?
A minute 41.
No, this is minute 41.
Oh,
in the show. Yeah.
Minute 41, not a minute 41.
No,
I get
I was
it now.
confused there too.
I had to look at the screen.
minute number 41.
Oh. Touch hole.
And then
Speaking of-
so I have go get off the exit. I'm like messaging Elliot, and I was like, well, I'm right at the exit that I would need to get off to go to my house. Shane's not responding. He was like, oh, we'll just do it later. Then I get off the exit. I'm
Where are you guys?
I'm on my street.
Are y'all late?
About to pull in my driveway, and Shane's
What's
like,
your ETA?
Yeah, I'm
how
like,
far out? I'm like, not far. I'm about to pull in my driveway.
Well, I had messaged Elliot a couple minutes before that. I was like, you close? Like,
Oh, I know.
What's going on?
I was on the phone with Elliot. Elliot was like, Shane just messaged, are you close? And I was like, yeah, I'm close to my house.
Look at Messenger.
Yeah, that's what he said. Look at Messenger. I'm like, look at Messenger. I have my notifications off. That makes sense.
Kind of convenient.
I do that a lot. So I turn my notifications off and I flipped the silencer switch on my brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Yeah,
And
sucks.
Very much so.
You would be wrong. Jonathan tried to show me up with his camera on his S22 Ultra and lost, by the way.
Oh, that's all about.
No, he
Yeah,
lost.
He's being a touch hole right now.
That's not factual. That's
No, it was factual.
that's all about opinion and perspective.
Oh, well, he sat there and took 5 minutes taking a picture, and I was like, we were trying to figure out like how a image gets saved, like the file name, and so I didn't even like focus or anything and took it. He was like, oh, your picture didn't come out as good as mine, and I was like, well, I didn't even try to take a picture.
Wasn't even close.
I didn't focus or anything. I just took it to see how it would save.
Didn't eliminate those glares. But anyway, I do like your phone a lot. It's beautiful. I got the purple one. Almost broke it.
If only you could learn to not talk with your finger over the mic.
I have a bad habit of doing that. I hold the phone like that. There's the mic.
I'll get videos, and then it'll be like, "Here you." Like, what did you just say? I said, "If you go right now."
Why do you sound like Batman?
What is wrong with your phone? And then then I get I think I know what I'm doing. My finger's over the mic.
Well, that would make sense.
Ugh. I've looked at switching back so many times to try and get it in sync with my.
I mean, we called that number on for Bray's psychiatric report, and it was like, and then I call Shane's number, and it's like, I'm like, this is like,
it's
all
just an
Shane.
iPhone thing. It has nothing to do with the actual number I was calling.
Oh man!
Speaking of touch holes, Alpha Academy.
Shush!
They paid tribute to Chip and Dale last night. Patrick Swayze and Chris
Rescue
Farley.
Rangers?
No,
Oh.
Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley. Chip and Dale's.
Oh,
This was Chris Farley.
the only Chippendales to me is the Rescue Rangers.
Chip.
hooray!
Yeah.
See? Shout out to Chip Day.
November 5th, PCW.
Bro, that's going to be hot, man.
Anthony Green and Sean Lacey. I'm excited about seeing that.
Match of the year. That's going to be probably the best match in PCW all year long. I don't think there's anything that can even come close.
You get the reality. They'll be there. Patrick Scott and Chance Riser.
I love Chance Riser.
That's a guy that has definitely upped his game, upped his physique, his gear. I mean, he's cut weight. Looks good. He's doing amazing things. Who else we got?
Well, you got Ethan Case back. We don't know what his plans are.
Well, he was back last show, too.
Mm-hmm.
No, he was not back last show. He was back the show before that against Donnie Ray. Not down drag out. Donnie Ray with the win.
But we don't know his plans. I mean, I saw a sneak peek at some gear he's making. I think it's going to be interesting. You know, I love Ethan Case and guys like Chip Day. You know.
Wink, wink.
Two of my favorite individuals, two of my favorite professional wrestlers, two of my favorite people. So,
what else we got? Who else is on the card they've shown so far? Well, GM Dave. We know GM Dave is
he's back.
He's back. Apparently, he wasn't leaving. He was just taking a vacation.
He's going to Charlotte, Elliot. You know?
I know.
Guys, it's only like an hour up the road. Oh, Dave.
Which him and his wife just celebrated an anniversary. Congrats, GM Dave.
It's so crazy, man. How time flies.
Didn't Chaz and Florida Man?
Yeah, the Hellcats.
Yeah, well, the Hollywood, Florida Hellcats.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed my picture.
Wildcats, wrong.
Yeah, they're like, all right, fair enough. I was like, I saw them.
Chaz.
So good.
Well, Moody, recent PCW
Soda City champion.
City champion. Don't know if he'll be in action or not, but
you know he'll be there.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if he wouldn't be there. But, busy man. And I think that's all that I've seen so far.
It's been quiet since a lot of having the month off of the hurricane with Ian, kind of really it always interferes and kind of cuts down the hype a little bit. But
yeah.
But the show's doing really good with ticket sales, and I think it's going to be
looks like all but like 5 seats were sold out.
I think there's 2 left.
Front row?
Yep, 2 left for front row, which is good.
Let's see here.
We got what else we got tonight? Dynamite's tonight.
Dynamite is tonight, and you have Ring of Jericho champion Chris Jericho against a former Ring of Honor champion. Now let's pay attention to that verbiage. They didn't say former Ring of Honor world champion.
I think that's what they meant.
It's just former Ring of Honor champion.
The Ring of Honor World Championship is very prestigious, so I think if it was a definitive Ring of Honor World Champion, it would be Ring of Honor World Champion. With that being said, if it is just a champion in history, any champion, it opens the door to a lot more potential people that it could be. Guys like your Chris Hero,
Shane Taylor.
Yeah, definitely people that have not necessarily held the Ring of Honor World Championship. I think I'd be interested, man.
Obviously, it's got to be a former face champion, though, right?
Yeah, it's got to be a fan favorite. It's got to be somebody that the crowd can get behind. Any picks?
I mean, what a way for Adam Cole to come back.
It's kind of I mentioned that to Shane the other day. That's kind of where I'm leaning. I think it would tie into Ring of Honor, but it would be a way to bring Cole back.
In a loss, or does he win?
Unless they put him over.
I mean, they could have interference. I mean, that's what the JS is all about.
That you know what? That might be something to look at. JS comes out, interferes, Cole loses. You then have Matt Taven and Mike Bennett come out to help Adam Cole.
Bennett. Oh, is Maria with him?
Yes.
Hey, I mean, she's the first lady of professional wrestling. I mean, we know that. Maria Kanellis Bennett. But they come out, help Cole, and you have the Kingdom reform, I should say.
They could use Gresham.
Well,
I don't see it happening, but it's a possibility.
Or you could have Chris Hero
I love Chris
come
Hero.
out because him and Claudio's got that solid friendship.
That would be sick. Crowd would, by the way, that crowd would go insane for Chris Hero.
My question becomes what kind of shape is Chris Hero in?
Well, he's doing a lot of seminars and stuff. He's in shape.
I mean, because I asked because when he was Cassius Ono,
Poor guy.
and he blew up like not a getaway. Like depression. I think he's been open about depression hitting him pretty solid.
Yep.
He put on some weight with that. I'd love to see Chris Hero.
That'd be pretty sick.
And have that Blackpool Combat Club. My bad. Too many clubs.
I was thinking, there's several that it could be. And that's what I love.
Austin Aries.
Interesting. Taven. Yeah, you were saying that Taven was on Dynamite.
Yeah. Well, Taven was on Ramp. Matt
Or
Taven
Rampage.
and Bennett have both been on Rampage recently, so I just don't see it. I feel like they're really trying to build them as a strong tag team.
Yeah, one of them challenged Wardlow, I think, for the TNT.
That was
title.
Taven.
Yeah,
Matt Taven.
So just reading this article. So not counting Jericho, 30 men have held the Ring of Honor's top world championship prize. Yes. CM Punk out and likely leaving. Jamie Noble still works for WWE. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, both out with injuries. Tyler Black, not going to happen. That's Seth Rollins. Cody Rhodes, Roddy Strong, Kevin Steen, not going to happen. So it's going to be Jonathan Gresham's a good pick. Nigel McGuinness is a pick. He just left WWE, hasn't wrestled in years. Eddie Edwards, Davey Richards.
Davey,
It's not going to be lethal.
Well, Davey Richards is with MLW.
It could be just a one-off.
Eddie Edwards is with Impact. They had that working relationship anyways.
But I have my pick. I'm going to stick with it. Elliot, I've already told you my pick is PCO. I just think something's going to happen there with PCO, and I think it's fitting. Both at the tail end, twilight of their careers, both Canadians. I think it's just fitting.
Ain't PCO like 60 years old?
He's got to be 55. Every bit of it. But that's definitely my pick. And I just think he'll get that pop, man. Maybe a surprise factor. And Tony is all about.
Man, I hope
that
it's not
surprise
PCO.
factor. Really? Why? He's so good.
I'm not a fan of his work.
Really?
Not a fan of his work. I get the whole Frankenstein thing. Whatever. Cool. Whatever. To me, at times I've watched him, he's just he may have been good in the past. I just feel like he's so slow now.
Oh man, I just think the story would be good. What about Christopher Daniels?
I mean, but we've seen him already.
Homicide?
I'd give him Homicide.
Those probably are the three most likely if there's such a category. But PCO would be. I think it'd be good.
I don't know. I feel like it has to be somebody that
It's gotta be somebody new, right? Newer.
hasn't shown up in AEW, and like Homicide's. I mean, maybe not recently, but he's been there.
He's shown up. That's why I'm leaning toward PCO. It's gotta be a.
That's someone's. I mentioned Shane Taylor the other day. Someone mentioned him that hey, Shane Taylor could be.
That'd be nice. Too.
One, he'd be a good sign because he can be a legit big man. That could be difficult to for smaller guys to really. He could be imposing to others. I don't know.
Now this website is saying that Chris Jericho is to face ex Ring of Honor World Champion. So let me just say that AEW at no point said World Champion. They clearly said former.
I thought they said world champion on the broadcast when it was when they were talking, not the graphic. But
I'd have to go back and listen, but the graphic definitely doesn't lead you to mean it could be a world champion. But if it is a former world champion, that definitely limits the playing field here. But PCO is my sleeper. That's definitely who I want.
Who's some of the big like TV champions and stuff they've had?
Joe.
War Joe.
Speaking of TV champion, what's that match? Wardlow versus Joe. Is it Wardlow versus Joe that's happening? No, Brian Cage versus Wardlow. Isn't that happening?
Brian Cage is fighting Samoa Joe on the card.
That's right.
Wednesday.
Tonight. Yeah. Brian Cage versus Samoa Joe. That'd be
For the World TV Championship.
That's okay. That makes sense. I read something about that earlier.
Who's Moxley fighting?
Lee Moriarty.
Moriarty. Gotcha.
That'd be fun.
In a AEW World Championship Eliminator match. But Moxley's got the belts on him.
Here we go.
Eliminator match. What do you mean?
So they announced the Eliminator tournament that's for supposed to be for full gear. But
to see if Moriarty qualifies for Eliminator.
It doesn't say that. It just says AEW's World Championship Eliminator match. But
Former Ring of Honor TV, former Ring of Honor World Television champions Eddie Edwards, Daniels, El Generico, a.k.a. Sami Zayn, Jay Lethal, Roddy Strong, Adam Cole, Taven, Tommaso Ciampa, Jay Lethal, Roddy Strong, Ishii, Bobby Fish.
Oh, that's another one.
Ishii.
Yeah, some people mention Ishii. Yeah.
Will Ospreay, Marty Scurll. Well, it ain't gonna be him. Kushida, Silas Young, Kenny King, Punishment Martinez, a.k.a. Damian Priest, Jeff Cobb, Shane Taylor, Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee was another one they mentioned.
Minoru Suzuki, Samoa Joe.
If Minoru Suzuki came out,
the crowd will love that too.
Yeah.
What else we got going on tonight's show?
Get Jade
versus Marina.
Shafir?
Yeah. For the TBS Championship.
She's such a horrible worker.
Which one?
Marina.
Yeah, not a fan.
Jade's at least improved a lot.
Substantially.
She has gotten better. Then you have Saraya and Dr. Britt Baker sitting down with Renee.
Oh, just go ahead and fight.
That'll be that's going to be a nice.
And Paige posted on Twitter that she just it was no context, just got the best news that I've ever gotten.
She's ready.
I feel like it was kind of
fully cleared,
teased that maybe that's what the news was. Then you have Orange Cassidy, Luchasaurus, and Rey Fenix in a triple threat for the All Atlantic Championship. Darby versus Jay Lethal, and a daddy ass birthday bash celebration.
That is going to be probably the highlight of the show. Because they'll go all out for Billy Gunn. What he's doing at his age and his stage of his career for this company, and he's, dare I say, probably one of the most over talents in AEW right now. He's hot.
Well, Bowens tweeted, "I spoke to Daddy Ass today, and he's feeling a bit better. Baltimore, you can make his birthday special this Wednesday night by bringing him a gift and your signs. The Acclaim will pick one from the audience to give to Billy live in the ring."
Cool.
So.
Dun, 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 dun.
I really wish, just thinking about Billy Gunn, everything he's done, dude, and he's almost 60 years old. Guy looks like he's 45. He's jacked. In the best shape of his career. Putting on some, even the matches he has at this stage are really good. I wish they were able to work it out with WWE to get him the recognition that he deserved.
Yeah.
Because I told a friend, it was Brutal Bob Evans on a post, and he was commenting about, the whole thing with DX and Billy Gunn's possibility of showing. And I'm like, throughout that whole segment WWE did for DX, all I could envision was Billy Gunn coming out with the Acclaimed on WWE TV, and I just think that would have made the most talked about, memorable moment in wrestling in the last few years. I mean, I would put it up there with Punk, just as far as from a memorable standpoint.
I think
yeah, but AEW would have been getting the rub there, and WWE's not going to do that.
I was hoping because it's Triple H, it's a little different.
Well, I think
He's kind of easing himself into it, I guess.
I think the issue you run into there, I think a WWE talent could come on AEW and get the pop and everything they deserve.
You don't think Tony would allow that?
No, I'm saying if it was allowed from either side, I think a WWE talent could come on an AEW show and get a pop, good or bad. Where I don't know that the Acclaim could go on WWE program and get a response. And
I think they would.
You think they would?
I think more WWE. It goes both ways. I think more WWE fans are low key AEW fans, and I think more AEW fans are low key WWE. I think it's. I just think one person prefers one over the other. I don't think they necessarily.
I agree because I mean, you think back to WCW, WWF at the time. Like I was far and away more of a WCW fan, but I still watched WWF. I mean, this was back in like VCR and stuff like that. But I would
Stone Cold and The Rock.
But I would watch WCW and record. I'd watch Nitro and record Raw, and then the next day or whenever I could go back and watch Raw. I mean, I still followed both. It was just that I enjoyed watching WCW more.
I love WCW way more than WWF, man. I much prefer WCW, but I remember
that's interesting to hear you say that, just because I feel like because you were still in New York at the time.
Oh yeah,
right. So I mean, I feel like that that was always
upstate New York.
Territory.
WWE territory. Whereas like the WCW was like a southern thing. I mean, it was nationwide, but it was more of a the hotbed was.
Well, and you have to remember too the timing, because WCW came out at 8, Raw was a 9, so a lot of it had to do with, hey, lights out at 9.
Not true.
I mean, I do remember that as a kid, but still, man.
I used to like stay up and watch Raw or Nitro, and then it would be like QVC would have like an hour-long special afterwards where it was like all they were selling was like wrestling merch, and it was the whole show was like took place backstage, and they were showing all the blankets and all that stuff, and I used to cut that over and watch that. When
WWF Shop Zone, remember that? Man, remember I'm trying to think what else I remember as a kid. WWF Sunday Night Heat.
They had Sunday Night Heat. They had
Live Wire,
Saturday Velocity.
Live Wire. Oh, mine was WWF Superstars on USA
that
Network.
Was like old, like way back.
Yep, that's what I remember.
And Superstars. They had Main Event.
I don't remember.
That was like a actual show though. Like a few. They only had a few of those. Yep.
I
mean, WCW had
Thunder,
and they had
Saturday.
What was the name of it? Saturday.
WCW Saturday Night, wasn't it?
Well, no, they had a Saturday night, but they also just had a WCW Saturday something. It was just a Saturday morning show, basically.
Nitro. There's a lot of small shows, but yeah, but that takes me back to people want to give. We think we've talked about this on a couple episodes. Like people want to give AEW a lot of crap for like AEW Dark and having like the top stars, and I was like, well, I think it's more of having them perform in front of the crowd, like for the live show, like when not everybody can be on Dynamite. So if you pay to go to Dynamite, a taping or live Dynamite, they have all their stars wrestle. But back in the day, that's what they used to do for Superstars and stuff like that. Like it wasn't live. They would record it. It was dark matches that they would go back and just show on TV. I mean, you go to the net like Peacock, and they have Superstar tapings on there, and it's like different people in the crowd. I mean, you could tell like one match is from Madison Square Garden, and then the next match is from Jersey. I mean, they're put their TV specials, but all they are dark matches. But it was Bret Hart, Taker. I mean, it was all superstars. I mean, they've always done it. And then you were talking about Billy too just a second ago. Like did you catch the promo on Rampage from Friday with Billy and Swerve, where Swerve kidnapped Billy? No.
Oh, that was good. It was the highlight of Rampage. I mean, it was very well done. It was
What's the point? What are they going to?
It was. It's just teasing Swerve's he'll turn even more. But it was well done. Like I mean, Swerve's such a good heel. Like that's just where he needs to be.
The best.
And then we got the House of Black has been sharing some promos on Twitter.
They're back.
So like all of them, all four. It's the same video, but each clip that each one shared, the first like 10 seconds are like that individual, and then it cuts to like a quick cut of the other three members. But each video, like Malachi's video, the first 10 seconds are him, and then it's like real fast of Buddy and Julia, and then Buddy's the first 10 seconds is of Buddy, and then it cuts to Malachi and stuff. So I definitely think they're coming back.
They come back tonight?
No, I think they save it for Full Gear.
And that's November 19th?
18th, 19th,
Okay, so
whatever
still a
that
couple weeks
Saturday
away.
is.
How do you bring the House of Black? Let's do some fantasy booking. How do you bring House of Black back?
Trios.
Sorry. How do you bring them back on TV? Like, how do you do it?
I mean, I think they interfere in a trios title match.
And just wasted everybody?
Yep.
It probably makes most sense.
I mean, because let's be real, everyone felt like they should have been the one to win the title to begin with, or it should have at least been them versus the Elite in the finals. As good as Aussie Open and what's his name?
Will Ospreay and all them.
Will Ospreay, yeah. As good as they are, everyone felt like that.
The biggest thing, I think, if you bring them back, they have to,
but maybe
be brought back on top. Like they have to definitely go over,
without a doubt.
And my biggest thing was I think the biggest shock value would have the Elite return, and then maybe have them like kind of how they did with Brian, and then have House of Black come out and lay out the Elite. The problem is, if that happens, then I don't feel comfortable that House of Black is going to go over after that.
Well, and you're saying that that the Elite House of Black should have won. The other side of the token is that it's about the time when they might have been some maybe issues in the back as far as somebody wanting to leave the company, and maybe the future the tag team or the trio was up in the air. And then it came out weeks later that Tony's not going to release anybody, and then all of a sudden the whole conversation shifts.
Yeah.
But I think the House of Black is one of my favorite stables in wrestling. I definitely think it's one of the best in AEW. So
I mean, some people say that the Uncle Howdy mask looks like Malachi.
that's not going to happen.
Well, I know that.
That's not going to happen. They did that on purpose. That's done intentionally to get the marks talking. I mean, the fans talking.
Do either of you remember Van Hammer?
Yes.
I'm going to say no. Is it a band?
No.
That's Van Halen.
Van Hammer was a wrestler.
Okay.
WCW.
Right.
Him and Johnny B. Bad are probably the two.
Mark Miro.
Yeah. Him and Johnny B. Bad, probably the two wrestlers that I first really remember on the WCW Saturday show. So Van Hammer did a finisher called the Hammer Rocks, which is a slingshot suplex.
I don't remember Van Hammer. But I know Johnny B. Bad real well.
Van Hammer, I think William Ringo ended up like punching him in the face one time, gave him a big black eye. But no, when you were talking about WCW Saturday morning, I mean, I've been called WCW Saturday mornings.
I can't remember what it was. Definitely, I mean, it had Saturday in its name.
But
Shane's Wi-Fi. WCW Saturday Night. I mean, that was what the show I was talking about was called.
I don't use my Wi-Fi.
Maybe that'll help.
It will. So guy was Jack back in the day.
And I've just
This guy was
Looking-
over? Was he over?
Yeah. Rockstar.
Huh. Okay. All right.
I didn't say it was good.
Look like
Say it was over.
a cross between Slash meets Brian Pillman.
Meet Seth Rollins.
Maybe a little bit of Seth Rollins. Maybe a little bit of
It's
Eddie.
Crocodile Dundee.
There you go.
Boy.
So I think the last thing I want to touch on, wrestling wise, at least, and I think Shane might have been the one to tell me this, but he had the buddy of his a 10-day AEW show, said that they were still selling CM Punk merch.
At full price. Not even discounted.
I mean, I get you got to get rid of it if it's produced, but
if it's selling at full price.
But if there's real legal stuff going on, I don't know if they would be having it at the shows. But I say that, but there were the last show that we went to, Cody was already in WWE, and they were still selling Cody Rhodes action figures. So
yeah, whatever you can do to make money. CM Punk, I'm still saying it. CM Punk's gone. He's done. Now, a lot of people are saying he's done for wrestling.
Good. Yeah, saying he's got enough money. Him and Stephen Amell are pretty tight, and apparently he's making good money on doing stuff with heels. So
see what I could see happening because of that statement, and because of the fact that whether he is gone from AEW or gone from wrestling, whatever the decision is, nothing has to be made right now because he's hurt, so he's not coming back. Even if he was healthy, I mean, he's not
give
healthy.
it a year.
So they don't have to release him right now. They can just see how things ride it out, and then there's no telling what happens in a year from now. I mean, what happens if they say he's hurt for a year, 9 months? Well, what happens if the Bucks contract really is up and they were gonna release Punk, but then before Punk's, by the time Punk's healthy, the Bucks aren't there.
Still got Hangman.
Yeah, but Hangman ain't got nowhere near the pull without his buds.
And that is crazy, man, because if you go back and listen or read a lot of what people said about Punk's presence in AEW, very approachable, very, very involved. He was involved with a lot of the younger guys and younger gals matches and talking and critiquing. And a lot of people even said like Punk was a big influence for them in the back.
Well, but that was what the reports were back then. Now all the reports are he was a cancer and stuff. So
but I look at who's saying it too.
Stuff's not adding up. But
AKA Meltzer.
But I mean, you can play it off, and all the reports can come out that he's gone or that he doesn't need the money, and that he's just going to ride it out. And then, I mean, eventually it'll die down if nothing else is being said, and then you just have him come back not as a promoted return this time, not teased. Just have him. I mean, that would be
shows up on a big pay-per-view,
some real shock value out of nowhere.
Bring him back as heel.
Oh, I think you'd have to
bring him back on a Hangman beatdown. Comes and saves Hangman. Just kidding.
Gives him the middle finger and the GTSs.
Yeah, hey, that could actually work. Saves a beating down Hangman, helps him up, turns on him, lays him out.
But he would do that, and everyone would turn on Hangman
in a heartbeat.
Because the same thing you said about FTR, about your money talks, it's a money business. Punk far and away made AEW the most money out of anybody on the roster within the last year. I mean, the highest gate was
his return.
And then you had All Out, which is his first match. His shirt, the first 24 hours that it was available was
out.
Yeah, it's broke all Pro Wrestling Tees records. I mean, it's
that CM Punk.
He's on the cover of everything.
Let's not forget that CM Punk. It was a Rampage episode.
Free ice cream.
It was a Rampage episode where he made his debut or return, and that Rampage episode drew 1-point-something million viewers. Is that 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock time slot?
More than SmackDown this week on FS1.
Exactly. So, and now what's Rampage drawing?
Which-
Didn't I just read less than 250,000 or something like that?
Which that right there, the whole Fox versus FS1 thing, that alone should tell you getting on a cable only channel versus a public channel can make your ratings go skyrocket. So, I mean, you got Fox, which is a major network, public television. All you need is, heck, you don't even need antenna anymore. Digital television.
So here, my biggest takeaway with Punk. So I didn't dislike him, but I wasn't really a Punk fan in WWE. He's just another guy on the roster to me. I mean, it wasn't, I wasn't a Punk fan, but I didn't hate him. But I tuned into AEW to see. I mean, like for his return, it was a big deal. But like, I don't necessarily think his matches were great. I mean, none of them like jumped off the page.
Told a story.
But the promos and the story were fantastic, and I just don't think that But there's a reason they were that way. I mean, I don't think you just get rid of that. All because you want to keep Colt.
Well, it'd be interesting. I'd like to know what really happened, though.
Well, I'm sure you'll find out what really happened one day. A memoir or
Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, Dark Side.
Speaking of Dark Side of the Ring,
Ask Larry.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan was recording with Dark Side of the Ring today.
Uh-oh.
He posted that.
What would that episode be on?
It's on Vice.
No,
I don't know when. I'm excited to find out though, because he posted something. He posted it on social media. Sat down with Vice TV today, excited to be on Dark Side of the Ring. Be on the lookout.
Oh.
Well, and right now they're doing the big territory stuff.
It's going to be something on Vince.
Is what they're doing right now. So, but he didn't. He said Dark Side of the Ring. He didn't say the territory. I forgot the other name of the show.
I'm just glad to see old Jim Duggan
Yeah, he's finished up.
ring that bell.
USA. Hey, man, you think you can reach out to Hacksaw and see if he'd be willing to jump on the show?
Yeah, you don't live far.
He said he'd love to do it for the right price. All right, well, we'll talk
I got
one
some
day.
extra 2x4s at the house.
We'll
We'll
talk
get
one
back.
day.
We'll get back in contact with you.
Yeah. I can't blame him. WWE Hall of Famer.
Need Ricky Morton on here.
You dumb. You dumb.
Kevin Nash. What?
I remember you sent me that.
Kevin Nash.
I think he'd love to find out that I'm Kevin Nash's favorite podcaster.
Vinny Vegas looking mother. Oz. What'd he ever do in this effing business? Kevin Nash.
Man, that was funny. Yeah, he went in.
Oh, bro, he's done it several times. My biggest year in this business, I made $110,000. You make that in 2 weeks. I love Ricky Morton, man. I bet you I could get at least Robert Gibson on here. Ricky Morton, I don't know.
It's been a while since we had a guest.
It has been a while.
Yeah, we need one.
Schedules have been crazy, so we got to get back to that.
Yeah,
We're almost to complete normalcy.
Well, we know.
I can see the light.
Yes.
There's been a couple guys who'd say they're willing to be on. Dave Miller, who was the referee for what was supposed to be Ric Flair's last match.
Final last match.
Yeah. You know, the one that was big pay-per-view and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
He said that he'd be more than happy. Randy Hogan.
What you gonna do?
Randomania. He's been one who's said he'd be willing to get Shane. What's wrong?
I'm just thinking of the promos, man. I love Randy Hogan anyway, but just I can imagine him as an interview would be hilarious.
Very well. So I watched some of another video.
Kind person,
very kind, very articulate guy.
very very intelligent, a lot of experience.
Met a guy this week at the Martina McBride concert that my brother-in-law opened up at.
Toot toot,
huh? Toot toot.
Yeah.
He said,
"So it was Jody Messina and Martina McBride."
Nah, I meant J.D. Messina, not Martina McBride.
Oh, I was like, dang,
I get them mixed up. So country music, female, they're all the same, right? No,
Shania.
But
Yeah, my brother-in-law opened up for Reba.
I told him he needs to try to get on that in March.
What's that? That cruise?
No, Reba's coming to Columbia in March.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was like, man, you trying to get on that?
man, I was sad. Travis Tritt was supposed to be coming to Florence.
Yeah,
like 2 weeks.
canceled.
And he canceled all of his November bookings. He said he had some knee problems and he wasn't able to.
He also said
make it
something
work.
about like his breathing and sinus and stuff's been at that too. So
That's, every generation has like its sound. That's to me is 90s. Man, I love Travis Tritt.
I told my brother-in-law and the guy who played with him on Friday night to open up for J.D. Messina, not Martina McBride, my bad earlier. Drew Dangerfield is his name. He said he'd be interested to come on the show. He's a singer-songwriter that now lives in Nashville.
Is he related to Rodney Dangerfield?
I don't know. Didn't ask. He's from Charleston.
Oh.
Anyways, I was telling Lindsay if they would have sang some Travis Tritt covers, yeah, they'd had that place rocking.
Dude, I love Travis Tritt, man. Well, that sucks. That's because I saw that ad pop through my Facebook the other day about Travis Tritt coming to Florence.
I think he just canceled yesterday
Dang it.
or today.
Oh, Travis Tritt. I got a rice cooking in the microwave.
Canceled Travis Tritt, right? Tried canceling him.
Yeah,
They tried.
he canceled them.
That's
That's what he did.
He did cancel a lot of people. Love it, man.
Excuse me. But where's I going with that? I don't know.
You're talking about Taylor Ingle.
Yeah, I forgot we got on Travis Tritt and all that, and I forgot where I was going with it.
So-
We're just talking about guests. Yeah, so Drew Dangerfield said he'd be interested in coming on.
Moving on over to the Hollywood side of things, we saw some movies, right?
Yeah.
Did we talk about them all yet?
We haven't talked about the last one we watched.
Which was
Pray for the
Pray for the Devil. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan, I'll let you start because I usually start the movie section, but I will start with saying that me and Jonathan, we saw this movie together, and we'll let
Not
Jonathan
together, but
We weren't together, but we're together. But well, go ahead, Jonathan. Start off with your opinion on the movie, and then I'll talk about it too.
So I enjoyed it. I mean, it was. Yes, I think the story had been told before, as Shane put it, but I give it a higher rating than I would have given Smile. I enjoyed it way more than I enjoyed Smile. To me, Smile was kind of a more cheesy, like along the lines of like Final Destination or something like that. One Miss Call kind of genre, whereas this one was more grounded, I think, in the story it was trying to tell. And Shane can talk all he wants about, I've seen that story 1,000 times. Well, we've seen wrestling stories 1,000 times over and over, and you still enjoy those. So
Sometimes, maybe.
But I think it was well done. I think that the acting was good. I enjoyed the movie. Maybe it might have been because it was a shorter movie. I think it was only an hour and a half. That from beginning to end, I just didn't feel like I was like, oh, okay, like this is like let's get to the good part. And I felt like that in Smile. There was a couple of times where I was like, okay, let's just move it along. Like, where's this going? It's taking too long to get there. But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So everybody knows I'm big on IMDb ratings. And this is probably one of the rare ones where I disagree with IMDb. IMDb has Smile. So I did enjoy Smile more than Pray for the Devil, only because it was something a little different. There's only so much you can do with a movie based on Catholicism and exorcism. I mean, it's been done a million times. There's only so much you can do with it. And like we've all seen The Exorcist in 1973. We've seen The Rite with Anthony Hopkins, which was amazing. The other one with I can't think of that girl's name.
Emily Rose.
Yes, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Thank you. That was a phenomenal film, I thought. The basic story is always the same, but it's just all about how it's like how the art form is told on the big screen that makes it good.
Right, but this one, I mean, this one was about exorcism, but it was telling a story of how it had always been priests and that females weren't allowed to do it, and that she was trying to become the first one and that she was chosen. I mean, to me, it was different. I mean, it was a similar story, but it was just told in a different light, and I appreciated it.
Which is why I go back to the score. IMDb score is only a 5.2 out of 10. I think that's way undershooting it. I'd give it a solid 6. I definitely enjoyed it. I liked Smile more. Smile to me had that jump scare factor for me. More often, which when I go to a horror movie, those are the kind of scares that I like. I don't like gore. I'm not a big fan of it. I watch it, but I like jump scares, and Smile was more intriguing to me, but I definitely think I would recommend seeing Pray for the Devil. I thought it was well done, but
so I think to me, Smile was more 5.5 to a 6 rating, and I would put Pray for the Devil at like a 7.
Woo! All right, there. That's the first I heard that. All right.
After think I didn't give it a rating when we watched it. I wanted to sleep on
Let
it
it marinate.
Just think about it. But I didn't go into it thinking, oh, this movie is going to scare me. I don't think it had some jump scares, but I didn't go into it. I mean, I went into it just for the story, not necessarily because I was anticipating being terrified when I left the theater.
If Pray for the Devil was a 7, what was Black Adam?
See, I actually think I enjoy Pray for the Devil better than Black Adam.
Whoa. That's deep.
I haven't seen it, so I can't.
That's tough. That's. I don't know. I don't know if I could jump on that train, but
I mean, maybe Black Adam was a little bit. I mean, I could rewatch Black Adam more than I could rewatch Pray for the Devil, but in the moment, I think I enjoy Pray for the Devil more. But I also went into Pray for the Devil with no expectations, and I think it was better than what I thought it was going to be. Whereas Black Adam, I tried to temper my expectations just because I didn't think it was going to be as good as I wanted it to be, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
which can change ratings. I mean, if you go into it expecting something to be good and it's not as good as you want, I mean, that can hinder how you view it.
Black Adam should have definitely should have lowered my hype, my excitement for it. And I think,
I tried to tell you.
You did. I'm just a big Dwayne Johnson fan, obviously, in all facets. And like whenever he gets behind something and starts hyping something, he's very contagious in wanting to. You want to join along with it. You want to get hyped for it. So,
but I mean, ratings can change over time. I mean, if we see where the DC, 5-10 years from now, if the DC universe is to a certain point, all because of Black Adam, I mean, you can go back and rewatch it, and if they tie things in, I mean, it could make it more rewatchable and more enjoyable. I mean, I don't think I enjoyed the first Iron Man, but I don't think watching it then and then watching it now, that I think back then it was just a good movie. Now I think I would enjoy it or appreciate it a lot more for what it accomplished when it came out. I mean, it really set the foundation for everything. Along with Black Adam, also had the scene at the end where General Ross came in and said, talk to Tony. So
yeah, I still stick with it, man. Like Iron Man 1 and 3 are my favorite of the 3, but the first one's my favorite one. Man, if that bombed, if that didn't work, if that didn't take off, I don't think anything would have happened the way it did. Yeah, I mean, I recommend seeing them. Black Adam, Smile, and Pray for the Devil. I mean, I definitely think they're all worthy to be seen on the big screen. All of them. Just
You know what I recommend?
Hotel Transylvania.
No, I recommend heading over to daysoulcoffeelab.co and entering a promo code LOWDOWN for 20% off, especially if you love coffee, because they can send it right to your door monthly. Nice little monthly subscription. I drink about a pot of coffee a day now. It's pretty good. Right now, I could use some coffee. So,
well,
kind of late.
Elliot, we just had this beautiful bottle of Blue Chair Bay's new Mocha Rum Cream. It's gone.
They don't sponsor us. I'm not worried about it.
It's empty. Kenny, if you're out there listening, Kenny Chesney, send us a case of Blue Chair Bay, Mocha Rum Cream, and Banana Rum Cream for Jonathan.
At this point, I've tried half of the rum creams, and they're all been delicious. So I don't think I could get behind the coconut one, but all the other ones.
Have you had the key lime pie?
I have. That one was good too.
It's fantastic. Put a little bit of this on ice cream.
But go ahead with your ad read, Elliot.
No, that was it.
There was no read. It was
daysoulcoffeelab.co. Promo code LOWDOWN, 20% off your order.
I gotta get me some coffee.
Black Panther
comes out next week.
Yep.
Black Panther.
I will be seeing that launch day or release day on Thursday.
Pre-release day.
When's he gonna pay up on his T-bet to you?
Well, I mean, it's not gonna take long.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be over by opening weekend.
Judging by all these show times,
which is
that's a telltale sign what to expect.
Literally, what I argued about a few weeks ago was how I was so ticked that latest showing on a Thursday night was like an 8:00 showing for Black Adam. Pull it up 10:40. Oh,
yeah, and they're starting early too.
Yeah. I mean, I think Black Panther might make as much money as Black Adam made in the weekend just in opening day.
Where's Black Adam at? Have you looked?
78 million.
That's what it was. I thought
72.
67, I think, was what it was at opening weekend.
Oh, I was like, oh my, they lose it by Black Adam box office.
I don't know. I was just saying a number. I ain't paying no attention.
But I didn't see what it was after this weekend.
Yeah, we don't want to look.
You don't want to look.
Black Adam drops 59%, but retains top spot with another 28 million.
So I was pretty close.
So Black Adam had $114 million overall box office in its opening weekend.
Worldwide, which is what we said.
The first since July to hit 9 digits. Number plunged back down again to a week 66 million. And then another 28 million. Says Thor Love and Thunder came out early in July. The only film since that Black Adam hasn't passed is Nope. Ugh.
Oh, gosh.
Then it's really doing piss poor. Because Nope sucked.
Dude, it's bad.
Oh, my Lord.
Ask me if I'd see that movie again.
Would you see Nope again?
Nope.
Elliot, here's a quarter.
Call someone who cares.
Nice Travis Tritt plug.
Well, I was going to do it like 3 different times, but then it was like during the Day Soul read, and I was like, well, no, that might look negative on sponsors. So I was trying to
so it doesn't. They
wait
don't
for
think,
the right moment.
They don't think Black Adam's going to hit. They thought it was going to hit 200 million. They don't think it's going to hit 200 million now.
Yeah, Black Panther will get that opening weekend. It'll get 120 at least, probably just in the U.S.
But it looks like domestic comes up. No, so it's gonna beat Hobbs and Shaw, which sucked.
Best movie in Fast series.
Was not. That is what those are fighting words. That movie sucked balls so bad. Oh, yeah. Wakanda Forever is expected to trample them. Okay, well, let's not keep reading that article.
Tell me a 10-movie series that's better than Fast and Furious. I can't because there aren't any.
Yes, there is. There's Star Wars and Halloween.
I was going to say Halloween. We just talked about that.
Star Wars. There's more 10 Star Wars movies. Indiana Jones, if they keep it up. I mean, he's going on, what, 6 now? 5?
I mean, Marvel's got 30 or 40.
I mean,
you can't say Marvel.
I mean, it's one universe.
Marvel.
It's all one.
And now it's a multiverse. I I thoroughly enjoy the Fast series. I do.
We know, Shane.
There's ones I don't like.
We know.
I don't like.
Tokyo Drift, your fave.
No. What?
I actually enjoy Tokyo.
Oh, I'm
Drift.
not saying it was bad, but no.
4
Tokyo Drift was better than Fast 9.
or 6.
Yes. And I low key like I like Too Fast, Too Furious. Just 'cause
That's actually, I mean, the original is my favorite.
it has to. It's Iron Man 1.
It's one I can go back and watch, and I know like it just takes me back to watching it.
Family.
Elliot,
Shane's nickname is Toretto.
you've not seen them all, have you, Elliot?
I have.
You have every single one?
I cannot remember any of them.
All right. There you have it.
Oh, I remember all of them.
I
But
can
Too
remember-
Fast, Too Furious is actually probably second or third on my list. I mean,
The
the
soundtrack,
I do. So I do remember watching
the scramble.
watching the end credits when Letty came back. When we saw Letty was alive, it's like holy crap.
That's when movies start, to me, from what I remember, that's when it became important to catch the post-credits scene.
But wait, she was dead.
It was Fast Five. In the Fast Five.
my favorite car from the whole series
The
was the
the-
Skyline from Too Fast, Too
The
Furious.
silver and blue one. Beautiful. Especially in the beginning. Oh, you all right over there?
My mouth is dry.
You want some blue chair, Bay?
Nope.
Can't have any.
Some Day Soul coffee or loaded tea.
I've had a loaded tea already. Drank that. Is what it is.
The Fast.
Probably that lack of beard not blocking all the air.
That's exactly what it is.
See that? There it is. Saw. Saw's going on.
Speaking of seeing that, Saw.
Yeah, that's gonna be huge, man. I'm a huge Saw fan. Even watching all the Saw films, how they continued the story and tied it all together, I thought was brilliant. We saw news that they're gonna come out with. They didn't say a reboot. They said a new Saw film, the 10th film, I think is what they said, and it's gonna feature Tobin Bell, which is Jigsaw, of course, which. Tobin Bell's phenomenal. I think he's amazing. The presence he brings to that series is unmatched.
Jigsaw is definitely a key piece to the puzzle.
Where's the cricket button? Cricket. You have a cricket button?
I don't.
We need one now.
No, God!
I got that one.
That'll work. Yeah, I'm a big Jigsaw fan. I did not see Spiral,
I haven't seen it either.
so I'm interested to see that. I just woke my kids, I'm sure, but I'm interested to see. That was Chris Rock, right?
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how he put his twist on things. No pun
I
intended.
didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was his film.
He starred and directed or produced, I think.
Yeah.
I know he starred in it. I think he also had something to do behind the camera.
So, big moves in the free agency. NFL.
Lots.
Run him down, handbook.
So Bradley Chubb got traded to the Dolphins from Denver for a couple picks, and Denver got a Chase Edmonds. I think that's big for the Dolphins. I mean, they're
Wait. Bradley Chubb. Okay.
defensive end.
Yeah.
for the
I was thinking
Broncos.
Nick Chubb from the Browns.
But I think that's big for the Dolphins. I mean, their offense is already pretty stacked, so I think anything they can do to get better on defense,
Yeah.
only helps put them in a position to win. Shane's not gonna like this, and this didn't happen today, but I think, the Eagles just keep getting better and better. And I keep waiting for there to be a game where it's just like, okay, well, maybe they're not as good as they look, but I don't know. I mean,
Did they get anyone in free agency?
they got they traded for Robert Quinn from Chicago
Former Cowboy.
and
Former Bear.
yeah, from the Bears.
Cowboy first.
Well, there's a reason he left.
More money. No problems.
Sure.
Did you know Robert Quinn's from Ladson?
I did not.
There you go. There you have it.
the Falcons have this complex trade with the Jaguars where the Jaguars got suspended superstar Calvin Ridley from the Falcons for some picks, but there's all this conditional stuff where, I mean, it really, like, if you read it, I'm like, oh my God, that's complicated. It's like if he re-signs with the Jaguars, then the Falcons get a second-round pick. If he doesn't re-sign, they get like a third-round pick. If he plays so many games, it turns into like a fifth-round pick. I don't know. There's like 10 different levels to the trade. I don't know. And he's suspended right now. He won't play at all this year. But he's from Florida, and he did well for Atlanta when he was there. So, I mean, it was just kind of a shocker to see his name come up because you just hadn't seen anything about him. He just got traded. Who else?
So no blockbusters from what I'm hearing.
I mean, as blockbusters as you can get in the NFL.
There's no CMC to San Francisco, but
oh well, we can. Yeah, I see why Shane was hesitant to take the bet last week.
What?
He balled out. He played well.
I said I see why you were hesitant to take the bet last week about McCaffrey.
Why?
Because he balled out.
Oh, wow, one game. Ooh. Who's the number one fantasy running back? Austin Eckler.
Okay, we'll see who's number one by the end of the year.
Austin Eckler.
Okay.
Fantasy doesn't matter.
It does to
The
me.
reason it's called fantasy.
It's real to me.
It's not real to me. Dang it. Speaking of fantasy, I made a blockbuster trade in fantasy, Jonathan.
Who'd you get?
Dak.
I traded the number one quarterback in fantasy, Josh Allen, Najee Harris, and Jamar Chase for Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, and Dak Prescott. I had a reason for it. I needed some bad running back help.
So some other trades real quick.
Jonathan's like, yeah.
I do think. I mean, I think that was a very even. I knew your team.
All right,
and
so
you definitely needed running back.
Hold
help.
on 1 second. As of September 8th, 2022.
That's 2 months ago.
Eckler wasn't even ranked as a top 4 running back.
He's the number one running back in fantasy right now. Before this week, he was on a bye.
Austin Eckler.
But
Is Jonathan Taylor injured for the Colts?
He has been off and on injured the last couple of weeks.
I might make
He played this week, but he got hurt and came out for a little while.
I might make a T bet with you though. Here, I might solidify that T bet. Okay. My T bet is that Austin Eckler finishes higher in the fantasy rankings. Not saying he finishes 1. He finishes higher in the fantasy rankings by year's end than Christian McCaffrey.
In what scoring? Because that.
No.
You said semantics, so let's just.
I'll have to think on that.
But I will take. I mean, you give me what type of scoring, and I'll take the bet.
All right, I'll have to think on it.
Because let's see. So McCaffrey still has his bye. Eckler just had his, and in my main league, Eckler's at 179 points. McCaffrey's at 174. So McCaffrey's 5 points behind, but McCaffrey's on a bye this week. Eckler plays, so Eckler will be up by 20 or so points.
Seems like one of the big ones that everybody's talking about is it Jeff Wilson?
Because that's so he got traded to Miami too.
They flew a private plane for him.
I guess it depends on what you look at, because Fantasy Football Calculator, last updated today, has Jonathan Taylor as the number 1 running back.
That's a lie.
Look
at Jonathan's face. He's like, no.
Yeah,
that's wrong.
Taylor's not even.
He's not top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I have him top 20.
Well,
I mean,
I'd put Ezekiel Elliott above Jonathan Taylor.
Week to week, yes, he should be higher. I mean, he should be up there. But like as far as so far this season,
they got Taylor, McCaffrey, Henry, Cook, Chubb, Eckler.
I mean, in my league, Taylor's got 76 and a third points for the season, and Eckler's got 179. So Eckler's got 100 more points.
Yeah, I don't even think I see Jonathan Taylor.
But yeah, Jeff Wilson got traded to the Dolphins. Reunites with his coordinator that he had in San Francisco. T.J. Hawkinson got traded from the Lions to the Vikings because Irv Smith got hurt this week. It's going to be out 8 to 10 weeks, so they got some tight end replacement at the Vikings. Chase Claypool got traded to the Bears, so he's gone. So I think that just helps George Pickens, rookie receiver for the Steelers, kind of solidify his spot in the lineup.
How many points did Jonathan Taylor have in your league?
79, something like that.
71 in my league. He's 129th ranked running back in my league. No, keep him.
129. No, that's overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Not.
I'm not the running back.
Running back.
No. There's not even 30. There's only 32 teams.
He's 131 ranked in mine. But preseason, he was ranked third. He was the top running back before the season started.
Mm-hmm. What else, Jonathan? Anything else?
I think that was the trade-wise, I think that was about it.
Now, dude, I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor's stats. Last year he put up almost 400 points in this league.
Yeah, so Hawkinson to the Vikings, Claypool to the Bears, William Jackson got traded from Washington to the Steelers, cornerback Bradley Chubb got traded to the Dolphins, Chase Edmonds to the Broncos, Jeff Wilson to the Dolphins, Calvin Ridley to the Jags, Jacob Martin, defensive end, got traded to the Broncos, Naheem Hines, that was a big one, so running back, pass-catching specialist running back for the Colts, got traded to the Bills.
Oh, God. It's all they need.
Rashad Fenton to the Falcons, and then Dean Marlowe to the Bills. Was all the trades for today.
A Bills-Eagles Super Bowl matchup seems kind of appealing.
That'd
be fun. I hate
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I hate both teams equally. As a Cowboys fan, I love the players.
Bills are fun to watch.
So I'm a diehard Titans fan, and if I had to pick another team to pull for, it would by far and away be the Eagles. Not because you're a Cowboys fan. It's been like that for probably the last 10 years.
No, I understand.
But
Fly,
one of my favorite players of all time was the freak Javon Curse, and he got traded to the Eagles the same year that T.O. and signed. So, they went on that, that good run.
It's crazy, man. T.O. went off in every team he played. Like, when he went to Philly, went off. When he went to Dallas, went off. Man, T.O. was probably one of my favorite players of all time.
And the Eagles could have won that Super Bowl if they had kept feeding T.O. with the broken ankle.
Yeah, T.O. was amazing. I'll never forget that. Was it it was him and Emmitt Smith,
my quarterback,
when he tried back when he was it him and Emmitt Smith? He spiked the ball on the star. That was T.O. and he's a Niner.
He was a Niner.
He spiked the ball. Emmitt came up and rocked him a little bit. Yeah.
Quarterback.
I mean, even now as a Eagle, as a Titans fan, A.J. Brown was one of my favorite players, and he got traded to the Eagles. So, that was, if I had to pick somewhere else for him to go.
I think T.O. could probably still play. Maybe not a number one receiver, but I bet you could be a 3.
He's still in amazing shape.
And you know who could use a T.O. or a Des Bryant?
Who
should have traded for somebody before the deadline today?
Who?
The Packers.
They
stink.
Yeah.
Well, Des got screwed by the Green Bay Packers, so that he ain't going there. But dude, T.O.'s 48 years old, and I bet you anything he can still
Ocho Cinco too, man. Chad Johnson.
Remember Calvin Megatron?
Dude, Megatron is a guy who got out.
Smart.
Yep. He's just like, nah, I'm done.
It seemed to be a common trend in Detroit.
Detroit. Lions.
Ocho Cinco's 44.
Which I believe Ocho Cinco and T.O. went to the same college.
Calvin Johnson's still only 37. Man, you can't tell me one of these guys wouldn't answer the phone, or at least if somebody called him.
Calvin Johnson won't.
Calvin won't. I don't think T.O. would.
What about
Dez might. Dez wants to play.
I cannot believe nobody's giving him another look.
Well,
and he's always hanging out with the Cowboys.
Well,
he's like, please.
Speaking of Cowboys, real quick, I don't, and receivers side. Have you seen the video? of Post Malone and Michael Irvin at dinner. There's like a bunch of Cowboys, like old Cowboys players.
No, but I'm sure I love it as a fan.
Is it the one where they're playing pool?
No, I think they're at dinner, like they're sitting at a table, but they're just I don't know. I can't remember what the context of the video was, but they were talking about the Cowboys and stuff, and then they post. He's a big Cowboys fan, so he like made a bet at the table. He was like, if the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl, he was like, I'll get 88 tattooed on my face. And then Irvin jumps across the table. And he was like, all right, man. They're like getting all excited, and everybody at the table is getting hyped. I was like, yeah, he would do it too, but it's just fun.
Cowboys look better at Dak's back. Offensively,
they look better this week than they have in a long time.
Offensively, defense again was a little. They were cowboysing. You brag about one thing of the Cowboys, and all of a sudden, like everything you've been bragging about, just polar opposite happens.
13-4, first round exit of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's story of my life, bro. Like the Yankees, man.
Current story in the NFL, though, is definitely Tom Brady, man.
He's a little rattled.
Yeah.
Not Spencer Rattlerd. We don't talk about him.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's off his game.
Yeah. Remember how man, guy played 2 games in 1 week. The same week his divorce was finalized.
Was it a Thursday night game? Yeah.
He had a Sunday, then he had a Thursday night game. Yep, short week.
It's sad, man, because Tom didn't want to divorce his wife. According to actually something that came out yesterday.
I'm sure.
Says he didn't want it. He wanted to do whatever he needed to do to fix his things with his wife. He did not want the divorce to end.
Except for not play football.
There you have it.
Well, I take
do
that,
anything
I take that back.
except
I take that back. I think she did have a lot to do with him agreeing to step away. Like, I don't necessarily think it was completely his decision to retire, but I think his decision to come back was due to the fact that they were on the outs. And I think if he saw the writing on the wall and knew, like, hey, even if I stay retired, like, we're getting divorced, at that point, it'd be like, well, then
I could see that.
I'm just going to go back and play football. Like, if it's not going to work out,
At
like,
least
I'm at least going to have something to do.
Yeah, I'm not going to give up everything. I'm not going to give up one of the biggest things I love.
Yeah.
Whenever you're pretty much telling me, hey, whether you do this or not, we're not.
Well, and like I said last week too, man, Tom Brady is all he's known as an adult is the NFL. It's all he's known is his life. He's, what was he, 20, 21? Now he's 45.
He's played in the NFL longer than he hasn't.
So, yeah, I was trying to think.
He's 45. He's played in the NFL for 24 years.
Brady was busy following his passion during the 13-year marriage. Source says it's good for him, but ultimately left the model feeling that he wasn't hearing what she was saying. Brady, this will be his 22nd year. 2000.
Something like that. I mean, about the same time.
I remember 2001, NFL Game Day. I remember that video game. NFL Game Day. He was on the cover.
Yeah, so he would have already been in the league then.
Yep. He was drafted in 2000.
Well, and not to mention his time.
He's played
Time at Michigan and probably high school and middle school and all that.
All he knows is football.
20 years with the Patriots, and then
this is his third season. No, second full season with Tampa Bay.
third. This will be his third season with Tampa Bay.
Because his first one, he won the championship. Then last year, the Rams won.
Crazy, bro. How long before he catches Morton Anderson? How long did Morton Anderson play?
Bro, Morton was killing them things all the way from
Morton and Gary.
He played 25 seasons.
No relation either. That's what's crazy. Both kickers. Morton for the Falcons. Gary for the Vikings.
I remember that name, Morton.
He even in the 90s, he still wore the single bar face mask.
That's right. 25 years, man, in the NFL. Probably a little easier when you're a kicker, though. But
Every time I saw him, I'm thinking, man, if you
you're gonna turn to dust.
yeah, if you have to tackle somebody,
You'd really become dust. Yeah, Thanos. Oh, Morton Anderson.
So he's most games played in his career, 382.
Who's this?
Anderson.
Morton.
Yeah, 382, and Tom Brady has played.
well, seasons are longer.
Started 371 with 47 playoff games.
Oh, the GOAT, bro. The GOAT.
Man,
The GOAT. Brady's my favorite player to hate. I love Brady at the same time. But I do feel bad for him. That's what he's
That
going
was
through.
probably Kobe Bryant for me.
I love Kobe.
Because I was not a Lakers fan. But,
Oh,
and I
speaking of
didn't like
Lakers.
Kobe because of the Lakers, but I
The
mean, you just had to
Lakers
respect his game.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Lakers
So
suck.
that's kind of how I am with Tom Brady. I respect Tom Brady, and I like him more now that he's not a Patriot. 'Cause I hate the Patriots. Of course, I've always been a Peyton Manning fan, so
well, I love to hate Peyton Manning.
I love Peyton Manning.
Hey, Peyton, what did you eat for breakfast?
Sure.
Omaha!
Omaha. What?
It's kind of fitting that he's sponsored by Omaha, that he owns like part of Omaha Steaks now, right?
There you have it.
Omaha Productions, he owns that.
But as much as I really do hate Peyton Manning. I don't like him, but
I hate Eli.
His I wouldn't even say it's comedy because it's it's
He's dry
Just-
humor, very dry
just
humor.
not fun. But I keep thinking back to the trailer for the Santa Claus where he's auditioning for the Santa Claus, and he's like, Tim Allen's like, "Well, give me your best Santa Claus," and he's like, "Ho ho ho, Omaha!" And then Tim Allen's like, "Somebody call Brady."
Yeah,
God, I miss
Santa
that.
Claus coming out soon.
The show, right? They're making it a show. Is that
No, they're
Disney
making
Plus?
a new movie. Disney Plus movie, not a show.
Oh, I thought it was a TV show.
Yeah, I think it's a show.
I was thinking it was a movie.
It's an episodic show. I don't know what it's called though. Santa Claus.
It's the Santa Clauses, and it's a one season,
That's lame.
No, it's gonna be good.
6
You
episodes.
don't even like episodic.
Yeah, but it's
Or Christmas.
Tim Allen. Okay, folks. Now I see what y'all are doing
You're
here.
a mean one.
Mr. Grinch.
Really are a heel. You were
There
screen
you
6
go.
work.
There you have it. I always caught that in that song.
You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel.
Mr. Grinch.
The Grinch.
I don't know.
You're a black banana with a greasy black peel.
Something. I guess I won't watch the show then.
Well, I mean, it's up to you,
It's Christmas.
Mr. I Hate Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Arr.
Christmas.
Max.
It's Christmas.
Max.
I don't think there's a trailer out. I think.
Time to go.
Have you seen this? Have you seen
I
the trailer
love Jim
yet?
Carrey as a Grinch.
Not the newest one. They just released one
Speaking of-
yesterday. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
I
we have to
saw
watch
it last night.
Are you?
We'll watch it
Are y'all
post show.
gonna- Y'all going to look at the Grinch horror movie?
No, but I'm gonna see the Winnie the Pooh one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bro, no.
Look, I
Christopher Robin.
Can we- as long as Brandon Davis voices him. What's the other one?
Piglet. Winnie the Pooh. I thought you
Tigger?
meant from the movie.
There's another movie.
Tigger.
Oh, no. I thought you meant the character. So have I showed you the poster for the Winnie the Pooh one?
No.
It's hilarious.
So I definitely think it'll be super cheesy, but
What makes you think that?
But it looks
Great.
very creepy.
Oh, Christopher Robin.
You know, guys, I'm actually really excited on a serious note though. Movie wise, they just did a remake. Netflix did a remake of All Quiet on the Western Front, and it's World War One, and that movie, the original movie was in like 1930, 1931, and it looks fantastic. It's on now. I can't wait to watch that. I love like the historical war movies.
I'm watching SEAL Team right now. Series. It's fun.
I gotta watch The Watcher.
How about Megan?
And Plane? Plane looks good.
Plane and Megan. Megan's gonna be phenomenal. They're doing Evil Dead Rise.
Up top, that's
straight out of Bray Wyatt.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, man,
That's Huskus.
all that is. Yeah, that's just Huskus. Quit playing.
They're doing another Evil Dead movie, Jonathan. Evil Dead Rise, a horror movie. You hear me?
I'm listening.
Two sisters find themselves in a fight for their lives when an ancient book gives birth to bloodthirsty demons that run amok in a Los Angeles apartment building. That'll be good. Deadpool 3, that's coming up. And, that's still about a year and a half. The Mario movie is going to be fantastic. Contrary to what people are complaining about with the
Chris Pratt.
The voice. And who knows, man? You know how they do with trailers. Sometimes they don't divulge the truth in the movie in the trailer. He might put on the accent in the movie. We don't know.
I mean, I couldn't see him not putting on some type of accent,
Here
we go.
They're doing a movie called Haunted Mansion, starring Disney, with Jared Leto as Alistair Crump, Danny DeVito.
That's a remake.
Tiffany Haddish and Owen Wilson.
The original one was with Eddie Murphy, right?
Yep. And it was by Disney as well, I think. Disney's Haunted Mansion. So there's a lot of good things coming.
I mean, and we're talking. I mean, I know you're not a fan of Christmas stuff, but they're doing the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas on Disney Plus, and as like I think it's a few episodes, where it's that the actual characters, but they're trying. They go to they're like, oh, we feel bad that Star-Lord lost Gamora, so they're like, well, let's go to Earth and get him a present. And then they show up at like Kevin Bacon's door and they like basically kidnap Kevin Bacon. The trailer looks funny. And then there's
Cause you gotta cut loose.
There's another Christmas movie I think coming out on Apple TV with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds.
Is it Elf?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's like a Christmas Carol, but it's a different take.
So if you've
But,
seen
I hope so.
but it looked funny. I mean,
if you've seen the
between two.
TikTok, Ryan Reynolds did a thing. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky. That whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he's singing all the different parts of a song, harmonizing to himself, etc. And then Will Ferrell comes in, and that's where that was for that movie that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's it's like their version of a musical.
And you can also go on YouTube and see where Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. So Ryan Reynolds was supposed to be a guest on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, and Will Ferrell showed up, and they didn't tell Jimmy Kimmel. And then Will Ferrell was supposed to be a guest on Jimmy Fallon's show, and Ryan Reynolds showed up, and they didn't tell Jimmy Fallon.
There's so many movies coming. So it looks like Hollywood is finally post-pandemic.
Hollywood.
Mad Max, The Wasteland.
I'm excited, and I didn't get a chance to go today. I'm going on my way into work tomorrow to buy Top Gun Maverick. Came out today or Tuesday.
Finally.
On 4K. So I'm going to buy it so I can rewatch it.
It's I've
Probably my favorite movie of the last couple of years.
I've no joke seen it. I've seen Maverick probably, I say 10 times, but
I've watched it once.
I've watched it once, but
Probably 6 or
since
7.
I've watched it, I've wanted to watch it again. But I just
it's one of those weird things, man. Where like, no matter how many times I see it, I don't get sick of seeing it. I can watch it again and again and again and again without any. And those movies I can count on probably both hands. How many movies I can watch?
I've almost done that with I've almost done that with Batman, the newer Batman, Pattinson.
Batman is good. But
I prefer watching the series though, rather than watching a movie over and over.
well, the Bale series, I can watch the Bale trilogy.
No, I'm talking about an episodic
Oh yeah,
TV series.
But you were just complaining about Santa Claus being a TV show.
Huh?
But you were just complaining about the Santa Claus being a TV
No,
show
I'm
and not a
saying
movie.
rather than watching a movie repeatedly, like go back and watch Batman again, or go back and watch Santa Claus again. I prefer to watch a TV series again rather than watch a movie again.
That's a lot of time to invest over and over. I say that. I've watched Lost 6 or 7 times from the beginning, over and over. It's my favorite TV show of all time.
I got bored on Netflix the other night, and I saw Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell on there. Y'all, that movie is low key hilarious. Danny McBride.
I did enjoy it.
So funny.
I was the only part that disappointed me is because when I went to the theaters to watch it, and I was working at Blockbuster at the time, so we always had a TV that was playing like movie trailers, and they kept showing the trailer. You know, things don't always make it into the movie, but in the trailer, there's this like scene where he's like running away from the dinosaur, and they were like screaming at. He's like, "You got to run in a zigzag so he won't see you." But it was like in the trailer was the funniest thing that was in the trailer, and then like I waited the whole movie for that moment, and it just didn't happen. That was one of the things they had cut, so it was a little disappointing. But the movie is fantastic.
Chaka.
What else, guys?
Man, what I was getting at was like Hollywood's finally coming to a post-pandemic world. Indiana, like just upcoming. This is not necessarily this month or anything, but Indiana Jones 5, The Flash, new Aquaman movie. This is Spider-Man, a new Spider-Man movie, Mad Max 2, Scream 6, Joker 2, Creed 3. By the way, that trailer looked phenomenal.
I finally watched it.
Amazing.
It does, and so I know you don't watch the Marvel shows, but the guy that plays opposite Michael B. Jordan in Creed 3, his childhood friend, has a very important role. He's going to be kind of like maybe not Thanos. He might not be the big bad, but he's going to be one of the like top bad guys for this whole section. Like he's the main bad guy in the new Ant-Man movie, which I don't know if you watched the trailer for that. It came out like last week, but he's the main bad guy for it. I've seen him in a few shows already, and I would have never guessed that he was that jacked. But I mean, he is cut. I was like, oh my god! I saw it, and I was like, Jesus.
Rebel Moon, Shrek 5, The Meg 2 with Jason Statham, Avatar 3 is already planned.
The Meg.
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Oh, good.
A Quiet Place, Day 1. The Nun 2. Little Mermaid, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Was it just a rumor? Was it like actual news that they're doing a prequel show on Derry, the town of Derry?
Confirmed.
From it.
Confirmed.
That'll be fantastic.
Going to be amazing. Because I really, as an It fan, a Stephen King fan, growing up watching all those movies, those made-for-TV movies, but, you know, it's great to know the character, but and what it is and what he does, and you know, but I want to know how he was, how did he become, you know? So I think that's going to be pretty amazing. Man, there's just a lot. This is the new Haunted Mansion movie. A Matilda remake is coming out, which I think will be amazing. Evil Dead Rise. You got Deadpool and Wolverine. Megan looked amazing. Avatar 2. Wonka with Rowan Atkinson. Winnie the Pooh. Joker 2. I mean, there's a lot. I want to see Winnie. Remember? I hope it's not like Jack Frost, the horror movie when I was a kid. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I hope it's not that bad.
You remember the
Killer.
Santa Claus movie with Goldberg?
That was bad.
It was bad.
That was bad. Maybe that's why I don't like Christmas. Maybe Goldberg ruined it for me. Or
Yeah, you always got Santa with muscles.
that was Hogan.
It was
Horrible. How about when Paul White played Santa Claus in Jingle All the Way?
No, that was funny.
Yeah. You mess with me. Straps.
I never realized that was him.
Yeah, it was hilarious. He was super
Turbo
skinny.
Man. Turbo Man.
Super skinny. Hey, little buddy.
Yeah, the Goldberg one was called Santa's Sleigh. SLAY.
It's got his face in the cover.
Yeah, with
It's-
him holding an icicle.
It's so bad. Ugh. I might watch that. Oh.
Santa's sleigh.
Mm.
Oy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could tell that one was awful from the cover.
Hey, those graphics are awful.
Santa's sleigh. Let's see what IMDb rates that one.
2.3.
5.3.
Shut your mouth. That's better than the one movie we just saw.
Pray for the devil.
Maybe we need to watch it again. Maybe it's better than we thought.
There's no way.
I'm gonna have to watch the trailer.
He jackhammered somebody. Ah. Ho, ho, ho.
I like Goldberg and
He actually met his wife filming the movie.
I did read that.
He was
at one
dressed
point.
as a murder Santa Claus.
Great. Next.
Oh, it turns me on so much, babe. Let's go out.
Maybe in 15 years I can wrestle again.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It don't look like him, though. They did a good job on the costume.
5.3.
I'm sorry. You said it. I was thinking that and thinking Santa Claus, but then was going back to the video we watched last week where the guy's like, "You're not Batman, or you're not Clark." Oh, Clark, where'd you go?
Oh, that video was funny.
Where are you?
Oh, Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon. Go ahead.
Oh, there you are.
Poor Batman.
You're back.
Oh, man. It's funny.
Oh man. I just can't wait for tonight, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for AEW Dynamite.
Yep.
Because it's Wednesday night.
8 p.m. TBS.
Jonathan, you okay?
Yeah, I was trying to think something to say. I got nothing.
Yeah, well,
I got nothing.
this, like we mentioned earlier, this weekend's supposed to be Crown Jewel. It's all pending, possible nuclear war. So,
It ain't good. You just saw the headline with North Korea. Now,
North and South Korea now.
Wee! Here we
Also
go.
got PCW this weekend.
Yes.
November 5th. That'll be Shaw Map.
Yes. Saturday.
Saturday, November 5th. Yep.
Taylor Plantation. We're back, baby.
Yeet.
I will not be there.
That's sad. Why not? You got to work?
Yeah, somebody scheduled me to work.
You, because I don't do the schedule.
Somebody's got to.
Touche.
Shane.
All right.
Duquesne. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed the show as always. Be sure to catch us next week as well. Originally was going to try and air this on Thursday, but you should be listening to this and it's Wednesday. So,
Perfect.
right
on time.
Yep. As always, I am Elliot.
And I am
Touch-hole.
Shane. That's his new nickname.
Yours.
No.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yep.
It's my word.
Oh, well, it fits.
Ooh, Elliot, that's a nice little guitar jingle in there.
Yeah, it's in there. We don't hear it very
We don't ever get that far.
No, we don't get
That's
it.
beautiful. Ooh. I'm sorry. That was nice.
It was nice.
Let's let it continue playing.
royalty-free music ain't always bad.
No, I like it. Man, I appreciate everybody.
What you about to throw on?
Man, I'm about to pull up YouTube and watch
Wraith.
I'm gonna watch Santa's Sleigh trailer and all these different things that came to mind. Elliot, let's let these people go to work.
Oh, they should already be at work.
Well, not. Oh yeah, touche. It just keeps getting better and better. Let's let it keep playing. All right, run us out, Elliot.
All right, again, as always, guys, we appreciate you listening. My name is Elliot,
and I'm Shane,
and I'm Jonathan,
and this has been the Lowdown Popcast. And as always, let's keep it popping.